so fucking anxious. Like, the moment I have to start the video, I just like stare at the screen like the viewfinder and I go, I got that out. I get so fucking anxious when I actually like acknowledge myself being recorded and having to speak. It's the having to speak part that really like gets to me. Speaking in general, to be honest, even if it's a voiceover, I like to put a filter over my voice because I just, the fact that like perceiving myself being seen, I've gotten over that. I've actually always like that. Actually, I never really had to get over the insecurity behind it, but it, to begin with, I never really had a shock with. But the voice thing, that really like gets me. And it's also an insecurity because I don't necessarily like my voice, so you know, I haven't really gotten over that one yet. Hi, I'm Nettura. Hi, I'm Nettura Wrana Ra, and I am an aspiring, how do you say, content creator? Yeah, that's the word. I'm not gonna say influencer because that gives the, why am I slouching? That gives the, what's the word? The inkling, the projection, but the proper word isn't coming to my mind, so I'm gonna use projection, that I'm gonna be like selling products and looking good to brands, you know. But I'm not a kiss ass. I actually love arguing. I have a huge passion for arguing. But anyways, I'm an aspiring content creator, and I'm not here to offer you some like real HD quality. I film on my sleek little iPhone, and I don't have a mic because I'm low on money and I don't want to invest a lot of money into a project where I haven't seen any like expansion of myself on yet. You know, I want to grow myself like creatively and expand on my ideas and actually see if I'm able to commit also to executing them. And then if I see that I'm to a level proud of myself, I know that's kind of hard for me to achieve, self-pride, but you know, objectively, I mean, not subjectively, just in perception of myself. But anyways, then I will start investing into things. But for now, I'm not really there to start investing yet. And I keep looking like here instead of here. I have to look at you guys. Right. Got you there. Okay, I've aligned, I've calibrated my eyes now to look solely, strictly there. I have no fancy editing program, although I have been trying to experiment with different apps to find the most comfortable editing, editing program for myself. So I'm still really, I don't have like everything figured out or anything, but what I wish to offer the world is perspective, lessons throughout real life experience with analyzations and conclusions and practical instructions. Hi, I'm an INTJ.
But life is not about judging yourself and hiding away from humanity. It's actually crucial for me to make relationships, to communicate, to meet people, to welcome people, because after all, I am no different to everybody else. I am not meant to be caved in a cage in my own room, running away from the sun. I am meant to be open, to express my thoughts, to hug people, to appreciate them instead of reject them. I am meant to take people in, to care for them, to love them, to feed them, to treat them with protection. I am meant to shield people from the hopelessness of this world. I am meant to enlighten, I am meant to speak. I want to show people how to help themselves and those around them. I need love too, and that's valid. I am human too, and that's valid. I deserve humanity because I reside within the very construct of humanity. We need each other, and I should not negate myself out of that equation. A part of freedom is community. One should not yearn to fit within a community, but rather realize that they already create a community within their mere presence. I have love to give. I have wisdom to provide. I have light to illuminate with. I am worth it because I have kisses to give. I have methods to teach. I have worthy things to provide. Where have I gone? It's too hard to stand strong in myself around the person I love. To me, I feel safe and I break everything. Loyalty feels like grief. Love feels like shattering. Commitment, consistently, feels catastrophic. Like I am losing everything. Like all my visions dissipate and shatter with me, watching with full awareness.
I've always had a lifelong passion for art, and it kind of stems from my maternal side of the family, where both my mother and my grandfather are painters, or where they're kind of out of their creative sync. They're in a funk. They've been in a funk for a while now. But I guess my tummy's hurt. I guess I was brought into this world by the intention of inheriting that passion for art. Didn't truly translate skills-wise, but hey, I can always practice. I've been a lot worse than I am now, and through some practice, I've improved. Am I good? No, but I've improved. So hey, we can get there with the drawings, okay? The paintings, a bit better than drawings, but anyways, moving on. But by art, I don't mean like strictly painting, drawings, and music, you know? I mean like art. The art, the very conceptual interpretation of art. The art of conveying, the art of portraying, the art of not teaching, but rather showing, expressing, concretely expressing. So I have a passion for even house renovating, house decorating, building good journals and scrapbooks and photo albums, fashion, personal style, spiritual development, with a lot of journaling to show for it. Photography, filmmaking, script writing, being an author of books, just books. I'm into everything that I perceive as art, which is basically everything, including like psychology and stuff. But there are quite a couple of things which I don't consider art in this world. So again, not everything is actually art, to me at least. But I guess that's an argument for another day. I guess I just want to start from somewhere. And I didn't really know how, because I had already started. I already had a built-up YouTube channel, not a lot of subscribers, but to me it was a lot. Triple digits is a lot for a little teenager. Well, I wasn't little, I was older teenager, but for a teenager living in a really fucked up situation in a little island that nobody knows exists, with a weird accent that you can't pinpoint where it is truly from. I already had my own YouTube channel and I had built it greatly, with a lot of content and a lot of quality in there. Quality and quantity is what I was serving. If you watch the Eurovision 2025, that's a hint as to where I'm from, but I'm not gonna spoil it. You have to be smart and in the lore, guys. I had everything. I had a TikTok account and 2 Instagrams, which I built like completely artistically. But that all fell apart with me going through a series of being victimized by voodoo rituals. Now, obviously, I didn't necessarily let that directly affect my creative trajectory. However, it started affecting my platforms because a lot of people would come to bully me out of fuck nowhere, to be honest, because before these attacks, I had such a little community of like just people sharing their thoughts and making counter arguments to my arguments and sharing their philosophical observations upon my philosophical observations. And it was just like a really neutral back and forth, and like kind of a positive space for just talking, really just talking about shit that nobody really talks about. And as I started being really affected by the voodoo rituals that the spiritualists were putting on me, I started getting flooded with people telling me like, where is that accent from? Where is that accent from? And it wasn't like a lovely like, I was wondering where do you come from? Your accent is unique. No, it was like, where's your accent from? The thoughts, the way of typing, the way of harassment, the way of back to back kind of harassing me about my accent, because they've never heard an accent like mine before, which I don't know what to tell you, bro. Countries besides America, the UK, and Australia exist, and people have different accents coming from all over the world. But anyways, it wasn't like I'm picking that as an example, that was like the least of my harassment. But yeah, and I basically I lost touch. I felt like I couldn't perform anymore, and I wasn't necessarily performing with the intention of performing. I was just executing. But it got to a point where I couldn't execute efficiently or directly, or I couldn't convey my concept that I wanted to portray. So it started to become performing for me, because I felt like I needed to do something which was so natural for me for a while. And I gave up, I gave up, and I realized I had to delete everything. I had to wipe myself off of this fucking earth, bro. Because these curses wouldn't stop, and the effects, obviously the curses wouldn't stop. The fucking evil, wicked cunts. But I realized that the effects wouldn't stop bleeding into every corner of my life. So me, the smartass, was like, well, I guess in hindsight it was kind of smart of me too. But me, the smartass in the situation, was like, I know what to do. I'll just delete myself and wipe myself off this earth. And I don't mean stay alive, yes, but I meant like wiping every evidence of my current existence. Now I know, Wayback Machine, old Instagram accounts from when I was really young, shit like this still exists, but I mean like current evidence of my existence. I wanted to wipe it off all of the earth. So what did I do? I cleverly deleted my YouTube channel. Everything I worked hard for, I didn't even deactivate it. I was like, I want this disgusting evil energy gone. I want it wiped from my life, and I don't want to remember. Not remember necessarily, I always remember. It's really traumatic for me actually to go through those attacks. But I might actually open up about this sometime in the future, but no promises, because it's really fucking vulnerable. I just decided to delete everything. I didn't want it shoved in my face how much these people wanted me dead. I didn't want it shoved in my face. It was already shoved in my face enough. I was living this nightmare. So I tried to control it in a ways where I realized I had control over it, So I wiped my YouTube channel away. I wiped the email I was using away, wiped it, deleted everything, cut off all contact from anybody who was subscribed to me, because I was emailing back and forth with some of my subscribers sometimes. And so I wiped off both of my Instagram accounts, I wiped off my TikTok, and I stopped leaving the house, bro. It's a small country. People that know you will meet you. You can just stay on your doorstep and you will meet somebody you know where I'm from. So I decided, well, it's no use deleting myself off the face of the internet. I need to actually act as though I've disappeared. I need to act like I'm dead, basically. No, I never went far as like fake my own death, but this was like a milder version of it. Like, I tried to make it so people wouldn't question it, but I think a lot of people, well, not I think, it happened. I heard a lot about it actually from people, that people genuinely thought, like, a lot of talk was on about me. Like, people genuinely thought I was fucking dead, bro. But anyways, after me wiping all evidence of me being alive, some shit actually went down in my life. You know, the curses, they kept getting harder and harder and harder. You know, I was homeless and I needed to get my fucking shit together, bro. I needed to get my life together. So then people really thought that I was dead. A lot of shit, man, and I have pretty much documented, like, not it like second, like what happened, this happened and this happened. That's all in my head. Don't worry, I have great memory, bitch. I'm not forgetting anything anytime soon. I never forget anything actually, but I mean, like, I have it all documented in writing. Everything I felt all the time is all documented in writing. So I truly believe, you know, and I obviously take action and change things within myself and within my life according to how much feelings I purge and how much I realize that what I need to change and, you know, the directions I put myself into. The point is, I truly believe, and not only do I truly believe, but a lot of people have told me that they truly believe about me, that I have a lot to teach and I have a lot to expose the world to the reality of, kind of. And I wish to restart my journey because I am not letting no fucking evil bitches hold me back today, bitch. I want to be finally back, and I know this is like maybe not the, you know, when they say like dress for the job you want, not dress for the job you have. Yeah, I'm in between jobs right now, so I'm actually in my pajamas. I'm in my mother's Chinese robe, okay? I'm wearing no makeup, as you can see, nothing at all. And I am a full beat 2016 goth makeup. How do these two go together? Oh, I merged them because I have style. I take two makeup styles and merge them together, okay? But I'm not wearing any makeup because I've actually been awake for about 21 hours by now. So I just wanted to have a little chat, you know, make a little introduction of myself, because I realized, you see, I've learned a lot from my past YouTube channel, that if you just like create videos, like you just start posting, okay, you make topics and you post about them, people will not know who you are, and people will make assumptions upon your arguments. They will make a delusion within their own minds and project it onto you as to how they believe that you think, or what they believe your values are. So I've learned that I should make an introduction video, and your introduction video doesn't have to be your first video. I mean, it's more aesthetically pleasing and organized, yeah, but I recommend I was gonna say recognize and recommend the same word. I recommend that you actually experiment first, that you just make random videos just chatting shit, utter piss days, you know, just taking the fucking piss, totally. Make videos of you talking and yapping. Pick up a topic and just yap and talk and talk and talk. Make a 15-minute video. Go on a free editing version, cut out the parts where you're not talking, put on like accentuate like the saturation and stuff, you know, and upload it. And make a bullshit title that you pull out of your ass out of it. And do that a couple of times, just so you can become comfortable with looking at your phone or camera if you fancy it, rich, you know. So you can get used to even hearing yourself speak, like, loudly. Because when you first start, this feels really psychotic, and granted, you would have the argument of, oh, you already had a YouTube channel which you posted a lot on, right? So how are you saying how on this channel you've made some shit posts before you're making an introduction video? Well, you see, experimentation can never go wrong. I firmly believe it had been a really long time since I made my videos. It's been like 6 months maybe. Over that, actually. Yeah, like over half a year essentially. But you still get rusty. You still, even especially if you're like a really small-minded person, you know, you see yourself very lowly, you have a lack of self-confidence or lack of self-assurance, or when things go wrong in your life you feel that you're worthless and stuff like that. When you have this type of character, when you grew up in a certain like tough environment and you grew up with this character, you need to keep trying and trying it. Even if you've accomplished something, you still need to try again one last time, because it's never too late to attempt to get comfortable within yourself, within your own, within the presentation of yourself. It's never too late. You must do this for yourself, because if you just start, then everything, like little comments are gonna get to you. You're gonna start deleting your videos because somebody said that they disagree with you. You know, you're gonna start pulling things back that you've already put out, and that shows that you're a weak character and people will pick on you more. And besides the social reason for it, you know, there's business reasons for it, there's building your own little creative portfolio reasons for it as well. There's just, you put hard work talking to your fucking phone, and you don't need to delete it because somebody told you or insinuated that they wanted you to. But the ego of a weak-willed person doesn't recognize this, you know. They rot in their lack of self-assurance. So that's why first you need to experiment. And that was my introduction video. I'm Nettura Wrana Ra. I am your local INTJ, Cancer Sun, Scorpio Moon, and Libra rising in Western astrology, and Virgo rising, Hasta Nakshatra, in Vedic astrology. That was me. Enjoy. I am hopeful to come back and actually come back with some real shit, real like creative quality. I'm not talking cameras and microphones again, guys. I'm talking about creative quality and artistry and intelligence and open-mindedness. I'm ready to actually come back, but you know, I will not rush myself, and I wish to come back in a full face of makeup and a nice outfit, and because I deserve to feel good about myself while I present. I thought of PowerPoint presentations. Yes, present. I hope that you tune into me, because I have big plans for myself, and if I fail myself once again, I'm gonna look in the mirror and see my father instead of myself. That's fucking torturous. Have a great fucking day, guys. I love you.